All right, you guys, this is Courtney from Willow's Bloom, and today we're going to do a December 2021 tarot pick a card reading. So, we're going to be looking at basically the key elements of life, so career, relationships, and your spiritual or personal development, as well as any advice from spirit. So, we have pile one, the lamb. Pile two, we have the stingray. Pile three, we have the dragon. In pile four, we have the otter. And as I go through these messages, just be sure to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And you might also want to pick more than one pile because sometimes there are different messages for us in different piles. So let's go ahead and get started with pile one, the lamb. So pile one, you chose the lamb. So the first thing that I'm getting from your overall energy of this month with this card is this level of innocence coming in here, or almost like naivete. So maybe you guys kind of experience some things this month that feel really pure, feel really beautiful, or maybe you have certain experiences where you are not taken advantage of, but where maybe you feel like there are certain, yeah, I don't know, like you're just really innocent and like people maybe, yeah, take advantage of it in some kind of way. So I'm not really sure yet until we pull the other cards, but there is some element here of this purity and this innocence coming through. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on in your career. So we have the Queen of Swords, the Hierophant, the Sun, the Ace of Swords, Strength, and then the Knight of Cups. Interesting. So this is a new deck that I got, which I think is really pretty. So I feel like you guys are definitely doing an inward journey in terms of finding more confidence in your career. Maybe you guys are stepping up into some kind of new level where you are pursuing something that requires a little bit more leadership skills with the Queen of Wands and the Sun. There is some kind of like being seen that can happen with this, or needing to step up and lead others, like I was saying. And I think that with the Hierophant card in between here, you guys are almost like kind of going back to the basics in terms of developing this sense of confidence. And I think it's coming from pursuing your craft a little bit more. The Hierophant is oftentimes related to like study or things that are of a tradition. So kind of like being in the church or something of that nature. It's like you guys are under the guidance of someone, that kind of vibe. So I feel like you guys might be pursuing some additional education, or you guys might be doing some like internal work or things of this nature where you are creating more structure in your day and in your life to consciously work on your leadership skills, on your confidence, and on developing your craft a little bit more, because the sun is related to our purpose and our craft and our skills. And I feel like you guys are trying to hone in on what those things are. So it feels like kind of like a continuing education kind of vibe with this. And I think that's going to help you, again, be more confident and be a better leader. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing there. And then you guys also have the Ace of Wands, Strength, and the Knight of Cups. So I think that you guys are possibly trying to study something specific with this Ace of Wands. I feel like maybe you're going back and doing more formative work and developing skills because the Ace of Wands was an inspired idea or creative project that kind of came into your lap. And with this Knight of Cups, I feel like you guys are very emotionally invested in whatever this is. I think it's something that you feel very intuitively drawn to. And I think that you guys are maybe even getting some information from like spiritual sources or from something outside of you with these three fish here, and her like standing on top of the water with her cup. Or him, I guess. I feel like there is a lot that is coming at this person that is not just from within, if that makes sense. Like it's coming from within, but it's almost like getting information, downloads, ideas from other people as well in order to, or from like your guides or something like that, like tarot card readings, whatever it is, like some kind of information coming to you that like lights this spark and has you working on your creative endeavors, has you developing your skills more, creating more of a structure and foundation for how to better yourself in this area. And with this Strength card, it's asking for a lot of courage and resilience in this path. I feel like it is possible that you guys might be challenged emotionally in the pursuit of this goal, or or challenged emotionally in terms of like trying to be really consistent and show up, and really put your all into getting better at whatever this is. And maybe I kind of want to pull a clarifier on the Strength card, because I'm like, what exactly do you need to have this courage and strength about? Is it just that you're studying something or working on something? Like that's kind of vague. So let's see if anything else comes through. Any like clarifiers on this Strength card? Okay, let's see if I pull one. The Six of Swords. Interesting. So the Six of Swords is kind of transitioning from something from the past. And I feel like maybe this Strength card is coming in here to say that you might need to have courage in terms of starting this new venture, starting this new idea, and also not letting any instances of challenge in the past creep into your mindset when you're pursuing this. So if you guys feel like you've had some difficult experiences in your career in the past, or pursuit of some goal, I feel like what this is saying is that you need to have courage and strength to not let those fears and things come up and block you as you are moving forward. So it feels like a moment of starting something really new and investing in something new. And inherently in that, there can sometimes be either difficulty letting go of the past in that process, or kind of fear of change. So those things can come up for you, maybe in some form. And maybe that's kind of why you're working on this confidence and these leadership skills, because it does require that lion to come out within you, to be really strong, to be really brave, to step up as a leader. And so you are transitioning from one phase of your life into another. I feel like you are up leveling in a way where it's like you maybe were an employee and now you're becoming a manager, or you're taking on more responsibility. And in that, you have to learn more. And you have this like creative idea and passion and something very intuitively driven for you that you are exploring further. But it's interesting because you have this lamb, which is so different than the lion that you are becoming. And I feel like what this is saying, like the lamb is actually like a really spiritual card. It's really often associated with Christianity, and like the innocence of this. And this really reminds me of like the Prince of Cups here, because you guys are stepping up in confidence and leadership and becoming that kind of courageous lion, but your energy for the month is the lamb. So maybe that's the transformation that happens for you this month, is you come from the lion to the lamb, or sorry, the lamb to the lion. And you come from this point of like, well, maybe I can do it, or I'm just starting this and it feels like so fresh and so new and so innocent. And then you're kind of growing into this like ferocious lion that's like, I got this, like I have this skill, I'm working on this. I mean, I don't think you'll have it complete by the end of the month. With this Hierophant card, feels like it's a process of learning. So I think that's what's changing for you, is you're moving from this like really new, like pure state with the Prince of Cups, like these divine downloads, these brand new ideas, this like excitement or this idea, and you're really going all in on it, and you're becoming strong and courageous in that, in your pursuit of that. But I also feel like it's your advice in a way to like still keep the lamb spirit within you. So like, yes, become the lion, become the sun, become the Queen of Wands, very confident, owning your power, but then also keep the softness and the intuition and the spiritual connection of the lamb and the Prince of Cups. So I kind of wonder like, what new thing is beginning for you? I kind of want to pull a card. What is a new thing for you guys? Like some new idea. Let's see if we can get any more context. Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is a very creative card. So I feel like whatever is coming through for you guys is something that is much more in alignment with your creativity, because I got the Prince of Cups was where this information was coming from. So it's some kind of like divine download or creative vision that is coming through for you from the more ethereal realm. So the thing that you're trying to create or to build or to explore feels very like feminine in nature, creative in nature. It feels like you are going through a birthing process, expressing a deeper part of yourself through that way. So you guys might have not always had experience with this in the past. Maybe the kind of things that you did before were more practical. Maybe this isn't even like something that you're trying to necessarily like make your career right now. Maybe you have a job and you're trying to start this creative passion. You have this idea come in and then you want to start studying more about it. Yeah, it feels like it's very much in development rather than being like really underway, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't feel like it's like 50% complete. It feels like it's 25% complete or just being started. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing for you guys. I feel like you guys are definitely stepping up into greater leadership. And if this is a creative project or something, sometimes we have to get better at like setting our own schedule. So if this is something you're doing more so for yourself rather than like working for a company, then that typically takes a lot of like self-discipline. Like, what time am I going to wake up? How am I going to be a leader of my own life and my own time and resources? And so I think that could also be something that comes up for you. And the Strength card could be part of this transition process of moving from the lamb that's kind of guided by the shepherd and taken care of to the lion, which is the king of the jungle, right? The lion is the one that leads. The lion is the one that makes the schedule, that makes the times, that knows what needs to be done and does it, and protects others. So I feel like you guys are making that shift. And so it might take a lot of like structure and discipline in order to do that with that Hierophant card. All right, so now let's take a look at your relationships. So we have the Four of Swords, the Nine of Swords, the Ten of Wands, the Death card, Temperance, and Six of Pentacles. So what are you guys going through right now? Jesus, guys. I wonder if you guys like recently went through some kind of breakup or some kind of issue in a relationship. I definitely think so. This Four of Swords here to me is kind of like an indicator of someone not taking action towards something. It's a rest, it's a rejuvenation card. So I don't see it as rejuvenation here. This person looks stressed. I feel like this person's laying down and thinking about something, and it's like they're worried. I mean, this person's also sitting in bed thinking about something, worried. So I'm getting the sense that like some aspect of your relationship has been really, and any relationship, this doesn't have to be romantic, this could be family, this could be friends, or it could be a love romantic relationship. But I'm getting the sense that there is some kind of unresolved conflict with somebody, or like unrequited love, something that, some issue that isn't resolved. So like something where like this person or this situation is kind of like running through your mind a lot. And it feels like there's a lot of anxiety about it, but yet no action being taken in terms of resolving this. Except when we get to the death card, which I feel like instead of actually like speaking to this person and like being honest about what's going on, I feel like there's almost like an avoidance and a realization that this can't go on anymore. Like it starts with avoidance. Avoidance leads to anxiety. Anxiety at one point becomes unbearable, and it feels like this is so unsustainable. You can't keep feeling like this. You can't keep going on like this. And then you decide to end whatever this is. End this relationship with this person. Have a really difficult conversation. Set really clear boundaries that creates some sort of ending in that dynamic. And I definitely feel like there's some feeling of loss here, because after we have the Temperance card, which indicates a need for healing. This is such a beautiful story, though, because you end with the Six of Pentacles, which is finally entering into a relationship with someone who is equally giving to you as you give to them. So I definitely feel like whatever dynamic was going on here, it was coming from a place of inequality, like someone not responding to you, someone not acknowledging you, like inaction with this, like unrequited things, because like when think like love is unrequited, people don't take action towards that person. Or if there is a fight, it's like that person isn't even trying to resolve it with you. It's some kind of issue that's like not addressed, and the person doesn't care to put the energy towards that. And you're not taking action either, because I feel like you've always been taking action, and you're like, I'm done with that. I always take action. I'm done being the person who's always the one doing it. And then you have that realization with this immense anxiety at night. You're like, I'm thinking about this way too much. This is taking so much of my energy. I don't feel good. This isn't sustainable. I can't keep doing this. This has to stop. And then you stop it. You stop that relationship. You stop that dynamic. You stop that pattern. Something has a definitive ending and transforms into a healing energy that then opens you up to have possibly new relationships come in that again are equal, that feel fulfilling to you, and that you also are able to give yourself this as well with this Temperance card. You're able to fill yourself up. And so you'll attract people in your life who really honor the light in you, because you are honoring the light in yourself. So this feels like a very clear message, honestly. So I feel like that's good. I feel like that I don't need to pull a card on that. So let's also talk about your spiritual and personal development this month. So you have the Three of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. I feel like I need to move these up a little bit. All right, so that's interesting. Like one of the first things I thought of with this Three of Pentacles in terms of like your personal development is you guys starting to surround yourself with a better community of people, especially with the Six of Pentacles. Like these things are really working together. You're like, I'm done with the bullshit. I'm done with this like inequality. I'm done with this person not taking action to resolve this conflict or to come towards me in any capacity. And you're like, I'm just so over it. I am going to start putting my foot down in my relationships. heal myself so that I know I'm confident also, which is what you're working on in your career. You're working on your confidence. You're working at becoming like a leader of your own time and your own life. And maybe even a leader of others as well. And so you growing in confidence is going to help you attract more people who have similar energy as you. That's what I see with the Three of Pentacles, is one of the biggest areas of personal growth for you this year is what you expect in relationships. And the Ace of Swords to me is different ways of communicating coming to you. I feel like this pink cloud thing here, I feel like this is really talking about this kind of incoming realization about how you've been communicating or the way that you've been thinking about relationships, since it's next to the Page of Cups. I feel like this is going to change significantly. The way that you think about love or giving to others or communicating about those things, how you're setting boundaries. Ace of Swords is really good at, swords are in general are really good at setting boundaries. And the ace indicates that it's a new beginning. And Page of Cups to me is typically like new love or just like the beginnings of love as well. And I feel like from the beginning, you're realizing how to set strong boundaries from the first time that you meet someone, or how to create certain expectations from the first moment. I also feel like this relates to your job and what you're doing here, because you got a lot of Cups cards in terms of like where this career idea comes from. And then on top of that, the Ace of Swords. So I feel like you guys, one of the other ways you're developing is, I feel like you are developing a certain amount of discernment around your creative visions. Like, how am I going to bring them to life? How am I going to become practical in the way that I organize this and organize my plans? And I think that you're going to have a lot of ideas coming to you over time so that you feel like you're kind of this like wellspring of creative vision. And so I think you're going to unlock a lot of creative potential this month. And I think honestly, a lot of that comes from you shedding this relationship or shedding this pattern in relationships. It's like giving you so much more energetic space in your life to really lean into your creative energy. And this Ace of Wands, I feel like, is showing a shift in your energy. You have a lot of wands and fiery kind of energy in your career. So this to me is shifting into something that feels much more passionate for you. If you were the lamb being guided by the shepherd before, I feel like now you are trying to become the lion. And in that process, you're getting really excited about having so much more independence, having so much more personal authority over everything. And I think it's getting you really hyped up. Like, I see your energy really increasing, and your enthusiasm increasing for your work. So some of the ways that you're developing as a person and even spiritually is enhancing your communication, setting clearer boundaries, creating more equal relationships, and feeling much more productive and energized in your career, as well as discernment or discipline in your career that's going to help you channel that energy into something really useful for yourself. So let's look at your advice. So you have the She Who Dreams, Escape Dreams Fantasy. Put that in the middle there. And then you also have Sun. This is right back on your career. And ninth house, Faith. Well, I mean, and this is so obvious to me. You guys are in some kind of creative field. That's what's happening here, right? There's some kind of creative vision that's trying to come to life through you. That's why it says dreams, fantasy. I think that you guys are meant to have faith in your dreams next to this ninth house card. You're meant to believe that they are possible for you, but you're also meant to really use your imagination, your creativity in this new project. So giving yourself white space to totally jump into that flow is very important. And I think that's why it's next to the Sun card, which is all about career. So we know this is having faith and hope specifically in your career, tapping into your imagination, tapping into your fantasy, and knowing that you can bring this to life. Right now, yes, you are the lamb. You are going to be the lamb in December. So you're not fully the lion yet, but you are on the path to becoming the lion over time. And the lamb and the lion both have something beautiful to offer you. And they want you to go after this fantasy in your life. They want you to bring that to life. So that is what I'm seeing for you guys for December. So if this resonates, then please let me know by giving me a thumbs up or a comment in the box below. And if you want a reading for the new year, you can check that out. I do astrology readings, but I also do some tarot readings as well. And I hope that you guys have a beautiful day. Bye. All right, my beautiful pile twos who chose the stingray with these cool chakras running down its spine. This definitely makes me feel like you guys are going more into the depths of your soul, because when I think of a stingray, I think of a bottom feeder. So I feel like you guys are going down. You're exploring deeper aspects of yourself, and it's unlocking these different energies within you with these chakras here. So let's kind of see how that will unfold. Let's first look at your career for the month. So you have the Three of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Moon, the King of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. Okay. So definitely some ending happening here. What is going on? Let's check it out. So the Three of Swords, this definitely gives me some feeling of disappointment about something. And I think it's making you guys question yourselves and it brings up kind of like the shadow within you. The Moon card is always some aspects of ourselves that we suppress in some way, or it is something that is not actually visible to us. So, for example, some element of your career or this heartache that happened in your career is not available to you right now. So it's like, for example, if you were let go, but they didn't tell you why, like that would be a reason. Or if something in your business didn't work out really well, it's like you're not even fully sure why. The Two of Swords and the Moon card, these are both cards of obscurity, of not seeing things clearly, of lacking information, of not knowing what to do because of the lack of information. And so whatever heartbreak happened in your career, whatever disappointment occurred, whatever letdown happened in the past, or I'm kind of taking this as the past, but I guess it could technically be in December. But whenever that does take place, because that'll be different for everyone, there's a lot of it stirs up a lot within you, but a lot of lack of clarity also comes with that. It's like really kicking up, like if you ever gone scuba diving and you kick up the sand with your fins and you can't see anything around you. And it's like in that process getting stung by, I don't know, jellyfish. It's like, where did that jellyfish even come from? What just happened? And I don't even know where I'm going right now. It's like, I feel like it really throws you for a loop and has you almost like disoriented. And it's interesting that I was like talking about the sand, because I was just talking about the stingray being a bottom feeder, really spending most of its life on the sand. And so the stingray learns how to navigate that. It learns how to kind of move with such agility that it doesn't kick up the sand, if that makes sense. So I feel like you guys are going to really learn how to work with this kind of chaotic energy in a different way than you've maybe been able to do in the past. Instead of being just totally like caught blindsided by the sand, which maybe you do experience here, the stingray is also though able to navigate it, right? So it's like it knows where it's going. It's used to that environment. And it also in the future learns how to not kick it up as much. So it's like even if this happens, it kind of still can navigate without as much chaos. Or so yeah, the stingray is able to navigate even the sand being kicked up. And if it is, so I feel like the stingray is really talking about you guys being able to transcend this experience here of having this disappointment, this heartbreak happen in your career, of having the kind of uncertainty and chaos ensue. And then you are able to tap into this deeper core essence of yourself and your spiritual essence as well. And I feel like you gain so much strength from that, because right after the stingray, you have the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is extremely confident. He has mastered his confidence, right? He knows exactly where he's going. He knows exactly what he wants to do. And he's got these amazing sidekicks. He's got his intuition along here with him, these cats who are telling him where to go and who are protecting him. Cats are known as protectors. You can see all these like fireballs like spitting out here onto the earth, and he's just chilling. He commands the fire. So I feel like you guys came from this difficult situation, had a lot of kind of shadows come up, a lot of lack of clarity come up, and then you went within, and from here you were able to start taming the fire. You're able to start taking your passions and reigniting them for your goals. And then with this 10 of Swords, I feel like you decided fully to leave this past thing in the past. You can see this person has 10 swords in them and they are transitioning into their next life. This person is flying over their body, moving on to the next life, never ever to look back again. So the fact that the 10 of Swords is following the King of Wands, to me, is indicating that you guys are finally able this month to transcend this experience, to fully leave it behind, because you've gone to the depths of your soul, because you've connected to your spirit. And you're able to step into this really strong King of Wands, really intuitive, very confident, and not fearful of what's to come. Like, this King of Wands isn't fearful of the fire shooting at him, because you're not fearful of what happened in the past. When you can fully let go of that, you don't have as much fear about things happening in the future, because it's almost like you just know that you have the ability to control it, because you can control yourself. So I feel like you guys are transcending a difficult experience this month. And at the end, I feel like you end up connecting with some people that you're going to help you on your career path, whether it's actually working with them or having like better colleagues. So like, let's say you got fired, like going to a job with better people, or going to, like, let's say you work solo and something didn't work out for you. Well, this is you like working with other people and feeling like you're much more stable with 3 people or with multiple people. It's kind of like a tripod. Like, tripods don't work as well if it's just standing on one leg. I mean, it's literally called a tripod, right? Like, it does best when there's 3 levels of support. And so I feel like you guys are going to have some additional support and some capacity by the end of the month, and it's going to make you feel really stable and strong and grounded and like you can do this. But it only comes because you're able to actually leave this energy in the past and not fear things anymore. And so because of that, you're able to attract the right people who are going to help you move into this next chapter. So this feels really profound spiritually with the stingray. I feel like you guys are making a lot more sense of what doesn't make sense in your life. And it's coming all from a deep spiritual place. Like, you're just like the stingray goes to the bottom of the ocean, the moon card is about exploring these really deep, dark recesses of our mind. And I feel like you did that, and you did it successfully with the King of Wands right after. You immediately kind of jump out of that and learn and grow from that experience. And somehow it just makes you so much more confident, which is interesting because oftentimes after a difficulty like this, the last thing we feel is confident. But I feel like you guys are able to transmute this energy almost like an alchemical process from something so dense and so negative to something high vibrational. So high vibrational that you can literally fly over the past. Like you're so light that you're not weighed down by those experiences anymore. And that helps you ground into a new potential with new people. So let's talk about your relationships. So you got the Empress, the Moon again. You guys, what is going on with this Moon? The Five of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like this Three of Pentacles and the Empress card are great together because to me it feels like this really abundant and stable relationship environment. Like you have people around you. You feel like, look at this Empress card, has the Venus on the heart. Like you feel really loved. You feel like there's a lot of people around you that support you and you're grateful for them. So it doesn't have this kind of scarcity sometimes that can come in readings or like loneliness. I feel like you guys are surrounded by people who love you. But I do see some conflict here with the Moon and the Five of Wands. I particularly feel like there's someone in your environment or some relationship where maybe some shadow comes out and it's underneath the Moon card. So it could be kind of like as a result of this painful experience in your career. Maybe this also triggers this wounding. Like you obviously have some kind of shadow element that's present this month that's being worked through in your career and in your relationships. And I think they could be linked even. Like, oh, this painful thing happened to me in my career and now I feel insecure and it's triggering this old childhood wound. And now it's coming up, it's kind of manifesting in my relationships as well. So I kind of want to pull a card on what that Moon, oh, that's a lot. King of Swords, Page of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. Sorry, let me put this in reverse, actually. Two of Wands. Okay, well, it definitely feels like the Nine of Pentacles is all about having stable finances. So when it's in reverse, you might actually be questioning your finances. And these are interesting because the Page and Two of Wands are building off of each other. It's like starting this new venture, having this new idea, and then making plans. And the King of Swords in reverse. This can sometimes be linked to using your words and your intellect in an improper way. So that could be like manipulation, even being mean. It's like using your intelligence against other people. And the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Yes, it's about abundance and financial stability upright. So maybe in reverse, it's not only about feeling like you're not quite stable and financially, but also she's cultivating this garden, right? She's growing her finances. So sometimes in reverse, it can lead to an imbalance in your work. So I feel like these shadows of the Moon here are coming out in your dynamic of maybe working really hard and then things not going as you'd hoped with these Page and Two of Wands. Like you did all this planning and that was right and that was good. Like the planning is upright, right? Like this idea and this planning card was on track, but then these are in reverse. So this is kind of where you're stumbling up, where the shadow's coming in. It's like you guys maybe worked, like had an imbalance. You were hustling a lot and maybe using your intelligence and things to work on something or to speak in a way or to interact in a way that is not in the highest vibration. It's like you're utilizing this talent for harm in a way, you know? So if you're really smart, like sometimes that can happen without you even realizing. Like sometimes you can manipulate people to get a certain way. So this, I feel like, could have caused issues in your relationship dynamic. Like maybe you're working too hard and communication was off, and then it caused this Five of Wands, which is a fight. People not understanding each other, anxiety, discord, disagreements, like people trying to get their ideas across, and people coming from totally different places and like not fully being able to grasp what the other person is saying. So that's kind of what I feel like was happening here. I hope that makes sense. And it seems really positive though, because right after you have the Two of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles, so it's mended, right? Like after this fight, you guys come back stronger. After this disagreement, you are then reunited and you're working on your relationship together. So this doesn't feel like a really big deal at all. In fact, I actually feel like this is quite healing or improving in your life, because you're able to mend difficult situations and become even closer in that process. It's not about not having conflict. I always say that. It's not about not having conflict. It's just about being able to heal from that conflict, mend the conflict. And then it's like once you've kind of like open yourself up and you heal again, you have scar tissue. So the skin becomes a lot stronger and a lot thicker. That's the kind of energy I'm getting. Like you might have some wounds triggered here. You might communicate and ineffectively, or you might be working so hard on something that is frustrating you because it's not going to plan with this career thing. And that causes that tension. And it triggers any wounding within you around that. And then identifying that and working through that with this person helps you face some of those shadows and heal some of them and feel more seen in a really vulnerable way. So it just feels like the most kind of deep connection that you can have with someone. And it's not like it ends there. It's not like you just like, that's it, like you feel connected and that's all, and you kind of go on your way. It's like you continuously put effort in with the Eight of Pentacles. You're like, how can I prevent that from happening again? How can I work on my relationship with this person consistently? And there's that dedication and commitment, and I feel like it's coming from both ends with the Two of Cups. Like there's two people equally sharing in their love for one another, and they're willing to show up. Even though they didn't quite see eye to eye at one point, they're willing to show up and resolve all conflicts in a much healthier way in the future. So it feels very positive for you guys. Now let's look at your spiritual or personal development this month. We've got the Ten of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. So I definitely feel like you guys are having some amazing leveling up in your emotional life. The Ten of Cups is just like complete happiness, right? It's like love, fulfillment, having people surround you that you want. It's like everything that you need in life to feel satiated. And so it feels like you guys are working through some of these significant shadows with this Moon card. And it's giving you this kind of emotional prosperity that is so worth the challenge that it took to get. And I think that you guys are going to feel like you came out this month on top. You're ending your relationship reading with the Two of Cups and Eight of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. You're leaving behind any of the issues of the past and stepping into a stronger future with other people by your side in both scenarios. And so that to me is so fulfilling for you. And the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands shows me that you are working hard on something that makes you feel really confident and really stable within yourself. Like the Ten of Cups doesn't feel fleeting next to these cards. It feels passionate and burning bright, but also consistent with this King of Pentacles. So it feels like you guys are able to create some internal stability that might have been shaken up at this time here, with this chaos here and this chaos here. You guys are able to overcome that and become very stable and confident within yourself. And the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands are unmovable. They know exactly who they are and what they want, and they're not going to waver from these challenging circumstances. They're like a tree in the wind. It will bend, but it won't break. And I feel like that's what you guys are realizing by the end of the month, is that you bent and you didn't break, and you became so much more stable and emotionally fulfilled and passionate and excited and driven because of that. So let's pull your advice cards. You have a couple of them. You have the She Who Listens, Understanding, Witness, and Compassion. I'm going to put that next to the Five of Wands. She Who Rises Up, Empower, Uplift, and Elevate. That's definitely what I'm getting with these cards here. You guys are really elevated or empowered after these challenging experiences, especially in your career with this Three of Swords. That is not stopping you at all. It's underneath the King of Wands. You have the King of Wands here again. You have two King of Wands, you guys. You are on fire. You feel empowered. You feel like you can do it. So your advice is to, in your moments when you're on the depth with a stingray, to just keep this essence in mind. And maybe ask yourself like where you could be giving your power away. If someone does disappoint you in your career and you spend months or weeks kind of sitting in that negativity, you're giving your power away to that situation or to that person. And so maybe the advice would be to stand in your power, to stand in your confidence, to know that you can do it, even when you're not clear sometimes at what that is that you need to do or what's even going on. The She Who Listens card, I definitely think this is around the Five of Wands. Understanding, Witness, Compassion. This is how to approach this argument. You guys might not see eye to eye, but how can you try to see where they are coming from, or at least have compassion for what they're saying? And one of the best tools for communication for this is repeating back what the person is saying to you so that they feel like they are heard. And you can do it also in the way that you understand it, instead of just fully regurgitating. If someone says something to you and you synthesize that and make it mean something in your mind, tell that back to them and ask them, is this what you meant? And allow them to clarify. Allow them to make sure that you guys are on the same page. So at least you're arguing about the same fucking thing at the very minimum, right? It's like, make that person feel like they are absolutely heard. Even if you don't agree with them, you are hearing them. And I think that's the very bare minimum. And then after that, can you hear them and then have compassion for their perspective? Where are they coming from with this stingray above the Five of Wands? What is the deeper motive? What is the deeper trigger or spiritual or like energetic kind of fingerprint of where this argument is coming from? Everyone has this past, and it's like we're all speaking from that past. And can you have compassion for that person's past and how that could be influencing the way that they're reacting to you today? Your other two advice cards are Earth Element, Stability, and Third House, Messages. Third house is communication. So again, this is kind of going along with what we were saying before. This is about really getting clear about what messages you want to get across. How do you want to communicate in your relationships? Because it's the communication that's going awry in this Five of Wands. That's why Spirit wants to give you advice twice on that same topic. The Earth Element, Stability, I feel like, is along with the King of Pentacles, is creating this stability within yourself amongst this chaos and uncertainty. And one of the best ways we create stability is by putting in consistent effort into something, like a routine. So like putting consistent effort into taking care of ourselves, putting in consistent effort into working on relationships with this Eight of Pentacles, putting in consistent effort with other people in our career to get something done. That's the way we create stability in our life, is the small daily actions that we're taking, right? So this is your advice from Spirit, is to ask yourself what routine you want to create around your career, around your relationships, and around your own self-care in order to facilitate the stability amongst the chaos here. And it's going to help ground you and keep you steadfast in the pursuit of your goals. So that seems really beautiful. That is what I see for you guys for December. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up and a comment down below. And if you're interested in 2022 reading, you can purchase that on my website, willisboom.com, which you can find in the description box below. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye. All right, my beautiful pile number 3s. This is also the pile that I chose, which is the dragon card. The dragon feels really mystical. One of the things that I love about this dragon card is that it's just the eye of the dragon. It's not this whole animal. And so I feel like you guys might be getting specific visions about the future or getting more clarity because it's literally just the eye. So there's some element of seeing here that you guys might be able to access that you haven't before. And with the scales being really apparent, I feel like there could be some element of shedding or releasing something to step into that new vision. So we'll kind of see how that unfolds for you guys. So let's take a look first at your career cards for the month. So you guys have the High Priestess, the Queen of Cups, the Emperor, Three of Wands, and the Magician. So interesting. It's funny that I was talking about being able to see, because the High Priestess has a veil over her eyes. But she is opening a door to her heart where it looks like there's something inside of there. I don't know if that's a tree or a person. Something is growing within her. And she's also reading a book, which makes no sense because she can't see. So it's kind of like this intuition, right? Like your vision is coming for the future, but it's coming from a really deep intuitive feeling from within you. And it's next to the Queen of Cups, which again, she's looking into this glass and she sees something that we can't see. She sees something that, there's nothing in the glass, but she can see something. And she's looking into it for her emotions, her intuition, her trusting her gut. So I feel like you guys are maybe even stepping into some kind of like more gifts in your career in terms of sight. But also, so maybe some of you guys are in some kind of like career associated with tarot or astrology or some psychic things. Like maybe you guys are in a field like that, or you guys are utilizing this right now in your career and you're like, this is what I need to do. And I feel like you guys are going to get this kind of instinct in a moment and you are going to be like, I need to take action on this. And with the Queen of Cups, it feels like once you start pursuing it, it's overwhelmingly emotionally fulfilling or in alignment. It's like you guys try something that you feel intuitively is the right direction. And then once you do it, you're like, wow, this feels amazing. Like so in tune with myself, so in tune with what's meant to be here right now. And the Emperor as well. The Emperor is incredibly strong. And I think that this is interesting that you have like the Emperor after these very, very feminine cards, right? Like, I'm going to follow my gut. I'm going to go with the flow. I'm going to use my feelings. But then you have the Emperor, which is like, right, completely agree with that. But then where can we bring in the masculine? How can we bring this out into the world in a really profound and constructive way? And so it's definitely, I feel like you guys are going to be stepping into some strong like leadership over your own life. And I feel like with the lamb here being protected by this shield, I feel like you guys are going to protect your like spiritual practice. It came from the High Priestess. So I feel like you guys know in your heart that in order to follow this path, you need to cultivate and protect your spiritual practice to continue to tap into this energy for whatever that was. On top of that, I feel like a lot is going to grow out of this stability. And also the head of this guy is like a skull, but it reminds me a lot of Capricorn. So it's a lot of hard work and a lot is going to grow from that, like this consistent practice. That's why there's all these trees and this grass. I feel like it's And it's coming out from behind him, from behind his chair. So he's not moving. He's sitting there in his chair, and he's allowing the things around him to grow and trusting that they will grow because of his efforts and his discipline. He's unmoving. He's unyielding. He knows what he wants. He's protecting his practice. He's working consistently, but he's also attracting it. And next to the Three of Wands, I feel like this is you guys really adventuring into a new sphere in your life, like some new aspect of yourself that you have never touched on before or you haven't fully explored before. You guys are now pushing your boundaries. You want to see what's going on out there. That's why these wands, the fire of them runs off the page into somewhere we can't see. You guys are trying to explore things that you've never seen or done before. And you're doing it from this really stable place with this Emperor card. Like, I'm really sure of myself. This feels really right. I'm going to protect this part of my intuition. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to grow it through consistency, through the masculine. And with this Magician card, I feel like you guys are going to start manifesting things that you've been really wanting. There's so many leaves and flowers, and this person just has a wand in their hand and they're just ready to go. They know exactly what they're creating. So I think my advice with this card would be to get really specific about what it is you actually want to experience. And I think those things will start manifesting for you. Like, write them down and you're going to start seeing by the end of the month some of those dreams come true. So this seems like a really profound thing. Follow your intuition. Be brave in pursuit of this new experience. Be dedicated and consistent with your showing up and protecting your spiritual practice. That's key here. Protect your spiritual practice. And from that place, you're going to start manifesting things because you are in tune with the universe right now with these cards. You are in tune. You are picking up on her wisdom. But you're also willing to direct your own willpower to achieve the things that you want with this Emperor card. So making sure you have some kind of structure and discipline is going to be key to making this happen. This vision that the dragon is giving you. So now let's go ahead and look at your relationships this month. So you have the Magician, the Page of Swords, the King of Cups, Page of Cups, Ace of Wands, Knight of Cups, the Hermit, and the Four of Cups. Okay, way too many things came out. Way too many things came out, you guys. You got the Magician again. So I feel like you guys are drawing in somebody that you've had on your mind next to the Page of Swords. Like, have you been thinking about someone? Because you are literally manifesting them out of thin air. This is like someone that you're thinking about messaging you. Or some idea that you've had about a person, like, coming to fruition. And this doesn't have to be romantic. It can be any kind of relationship. Wanting that, like a friend. Boom, that person, like, you find someone and they reach out to you. Or thinking about, I really feel like this is for a lot of you, since Venus is retrograde in December, a lot of you are going to be thinking about someone from the past and they just appear out of nowhere. And they might even appear as a totally different person than they used to be with this King of Cups here. I feel like maybe the person that you knew before wasn't maybe as emotionally developed or mature, and now they're coming back into your environment like really calm, really cool, really collected, and much more in charge of their emotional nature. And there might be something new between you guys, like with this Page of Cups. So a new kind of relationship forming because this person from the past is different now. They're more stable now. Emotionally, they've filled their own cup now, so they're not just looking out to take from other people, right? They have a lot to give now because they've given to themselves, and now there is some new beginning in that relationship. And it's a new beginning that I feel like both parties feel really excited about. or at least one party. I should say at least one party, because with the Four of Cups, I don't know anymore. But it seems like this kind of like flash of excitement with this Page of Cups and the Ace of Wands, like oh my gosh, like this person is like really great, or oh my gosh, this is such an exciting like new connection with this person that I've maybe known from the past. Maybe it doesn't have to be. You could manifest somebody new. But I get the feeling that like if it's someone new, they are really emotionally stable. If it's someone from the past, they've changed and become more emotionally stable. And then whatever comes through is like this immediate excitement about this connection with this person, whether again in friends, whatever. Romantic doesn't matter. Even family. It's like I'm reestablishing this relationship with them, and it feels like it has potential right here. It feels exciting. And the Knight of Cups, I feel like someone, like you guys are just kind of starting to connect again. And then someone might like try to take things a little bit one step further with this Knight of Cups. This is an offering of interest, right? Of someone being very charming, someone coming towards you, someone pursuing you. And this, again, could still just be a friend. It doesn't have to be romantic. So it's like this person, there's a new beginning in this relationship. You're excited about hanging out with them. And they're really trying to like get closer to you. They're trying to advance this relationship. They're trying to offer something to you emotionally. But I feel like you guys are not so sure here with this ending card, with this Hermit and the Four of Cups. Someone goes within, either you or them. I kind of feel like it's you. You go within and you really check in with yourself. This is you like shutting off your social media. They're literally shutting their computer, turning off their phone, spending some time completely alone inside your house, like just totally disconnected in order to connect internally with yourself. And it's from that place that you start to question this Knight of Cups. You're like, I don't really know, actually. I don't know if I want to pursue this person as well. I don't know how much I want to engage in this relationship. And if it's a past connection, it might be because you feel like you can't trust that person, or you're not totally sure. There's something that might feel off to you, even though initially it felt really exciting with these two cards here. It's like maybe they try to advance too quickly and then you pull back. There's something about it where you're like, I'm just not sure. I'm really not sure. And that's okay. You don't have to be sure. I kind of want to ask the tarot, like, what about this is making you doubt this person or this relationship? We got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. The Knight of Pentacles is about being really disciplined and going after what we want. But being in reverse, this might be someone who either lacks discipline or is so hardcore on the discipline that they are like restrictive in their essence. Something about this connection could feel like it becomes boring or outdated in some way. Like you quickly lose interest in some way. And it's either because they have too much self-control or not enough self-control. And it's just not, it feels like you're like, I don't know. Maybe I have more self-control than this person, and like maybe that's not really compatible. Or maybe I'm more of a go with the flow person, and this person is like always trying to tell me what we should be doing, and I feel like I don't have enough say in our plans together, and I feel like I'm just not so sure if I want it. And the boringness, I mean, you could feel like this initial spark kind of burns out and you're like, what was I seeing in them again? Is our connection really that great, or was I just like really swept up in the moment? So I pulled a card for the Four of Cups to see, are you, because the Four of Cups is really about rejecting a blessing. So I was wondering, like, are you rejecting a blessing, or is this something that it's okay to fully let go of and you're not missing out? And I got the High Priestess in reverse. And this is kind of telling me that you might be having trouble tapping into your intuition about what you feel about this relationship with this person. It's like you feel a little bit disconnected from source, which is funny because you're so connected with source in your career. But then at the end, when it comes to like your relationship with this person, you're just like not really as connected. You're like maybe swayed by other people's opinions or influenced a little bit. And it's like muddying the waters of that connection. I don't know how to say else to say it. Yeah. So I don't know, guys. I don't know if you should reject them outright. I mean, not. I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm kind of telling you what's going to happen, I guess, more so. But maybe just like really make sure that you're tuning into yourself so that whatever decision you do make feels like it's 100% right and not like you're rejecting a blessing. That's the only thing I'm going to say about that. All right, now let's look at your spiritual and personal development this year. This month. So you got the Eight of Swords, the Chariot, the Three of Swords. Can you guys fully see this? The Star, the Page of Swords, and the Magician. Okay. So I feel like you guys are managing some of your anxiety this month through willpower. The Chariot is a lot about us directing our will into something that is going to help us. And I think you guys might sometimes get your mind out of control. Sometimes your mind might spiral. Mine does that. It definitely negative spirals pretty quickly. But I feel like this month, in terms of personal development and spiritual development, you're cutting that off at the pass and you're not accepting that. You're stopping the spiral midway, and you are changing the momentum with this Chariot into a more successful direction. So instead of feeling trapped by your anxiety, I feel like you are becoming mobilized, and you are taking these thoughts, stopping them, redirecting them, and the energy is moving forward, and you're able to continue forward. So it feels like a very freeing energy because you're not getting so stuck and blocked along the way on your journey. And these cards both have pink in them, so it definitely feels like there's definitely a lot of like emotional things coming through with a pink. It makes me think of the heart chakra, even though that's green. But, you know, hearts are often drawn as pink, so it feels like just really emotional things happening that bring up your anxiety that you guys are now able to channel into and change into more positive emotion. And I see that again with the Three of Swords and the Star card. I feel like you guys are taking past pains and you are healing them. And it's really just that simple. You are fully healing from things in the past. And with the Page of Swords and the Magician card, I feel like you guys are learning really quickly, adapting really quickly to information presented to you. And it's allowing you to manifest things much quicker as well. Like your quick adaptation is making you a very good manifester because you're able to change the thoughts really quickly. You're able to make good decisions based off of information presented to yourself quickly. So it's like everything feels like it could accelerate here. You're healing from the past, so there's not that friction there. So it's like you have this lightness about you, this light movement, this quickness, this adaptability, all those things that I keep saying. And all of that translates into having more energy, more resources, more power, and more time to manifest what you want. Page of Swords is also like taking away the heaviness of the past. It's starting new in your mind in a way. And the Magician is helping you manifest based off of your renewed mindset. your optimism. And it's like that almost like naiveness that comes from optimism of just starting something new that's able to give you really successful results with your manifestations. Let's look at your advice. So you have the She Who Flies, Dare, Do, Reach, and the North Node, Life's Purpose. So I absolutely feel like you guys are making tremendous strides this month in your career, and it might just be in terms of taking risks. And that's what I got with the Three of Wands, taking risks on something that's really aligned with your purpose. And it's going to be like, maybe you don't see all the results this month per se, but it's going to feel like you are just going into this completely new direction. You're flying somewhere new. You're reaching for something new. And yeah, it just feels like you guys are so light, so much lighter this month. So that feels really beautiful. It feels like you guys are meant to take risks, go after the things that feel like they are intuitively in alignment with you, and you're going to benefit tremendously from that. So that's what I see for you guys, pile 3. If this resonates, please let me know by giving a thumbs up and a comment down below. I love reading the comments. If you're interested in a 2022 astrology reading, you can, or even tarot reading, you can check it out in my description box below. And I hope you guys have such a beautiful day. Bye. All right, and pile number 4, you chose the Otter. And the Otter is about experiencing a lot of joy. And playfulness. So this could be your energy for the month where you just feel really creative and playful and loving. Or maybe this month is inviting you more into that energy. So let's kind of have a look at how that plays out by first looking at your career cards. So the first card you have is the Tower, then the Seven of Swords, the Four of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. So it's interesting because the Otter is so light and so playful, but then you guys have the start of the career reading with the Tower, which is usually a little bit of an intense experience in terms of things shifting or changing that are outside of our control. It feels like a destabilization in certain elements of your life. And with the Seven of Swords here as well, I feel like it could lead you guys to, and the Four of Cups, I feel like might lead you guys in a way to kind of like shut down. That was the first feeling I got with this Four of Cups, is like someone shutting down, like they're literally sleeping and holding on to this cup. And I know that Four of Cups is about not accepting certain blessings coming towards you, not seeing them in a way. But I'm getting the feeling more so that this is like really internal, that you guys are going within a lot and like resting or like unplugging a lot from what is going on in this. And the Seven of Swords is like lying to yourself or something, or being deceived. Like I feel like you guys almost after this like ending or this event that happens that kind of like shakes the foundation of your career, it's like you guys completely unplug and you're like, nope, that didn't just happen. I'm not addressing that. I don't want to face that. Like let's just rest. Let's just do drugs. I don't know, whatever you do, like let's just do whatever we do to like leave our consciousness in a way to avoid the pain of what happened. So this feels very avoidant to me. But then after this, you have the Seven of Pentacles and the Four of Swords, which feels much more healing. So it feels like you spend a little bit of time in this like limbo period. And then I feel like you're moving on into the Seven of Pentacles energy, which is wanting to rebuild after the loss of the foundation here. Wanting to, brick by brick, rebuild this foundation and something stronger than before that will last the test of time into the future. So you guys are thinking really long term when you come out of this. You have a better vision for the long term because this kind of this tower moment shook things up enough to the point where it made you question maybe what you were even doing before and what you even wanted or where you were even going. And it's making you really go within with this Four of Swords and ask yourself, like, what do I want? What do I want in the future? This person's looking out into the distance. They're pondering that. And this person has their eyes closed and they're going within. So you guys are looking into the future, looking within, and trying to decide what is the next step for you. What is actually going to bring you that lasting fulfillment. And the Four of Swords feels really healing. It feels like you guys are not avoiding like the Four of Cups, but resting your mind, doing things like self-care things, and trying to rebuild after this experience, trying to internally rebuild that stability, even though it doesn't happen right away. And so maybe the Otter is coming in here to encourage you to be like light or playful in this process, because I feel like this is heavy here. You know, it's like, it's so heavy, it's so destabilizing that it causes you to pull back and retreat from yourself in a lot of ways in your life. And the Otter here is trying to rejuvenate your happiness, and it's telling you to be more creative, to get back into hobbies that you liked, to do things that feel like you're a kid again, so that you don't, it's not just like looking to the future, like making plans and all this responsibility. It's like, it's coming from a really light place. It's coming from a place of, let me heal my heart by doing these key things that really actually uplift me. So I feel like that's kind of like an advice card for you, is where can you find your happiness outside of this experience in your life and in your career? So that's kind of an intense thing in your career, but let's look at your relationships now. So you have the Star card, the Judgment card, the Three of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and the Seven of Cups. I kind of feel like it should be this way intuitively, you guys. I feel like you guys are starting off with like not really knowing what to do in a relationship. You have the Seven of Cups. This is deception. I really don't think it's deception in this case. I feel like it's more so choices and just not knowing what you want to do in that choice. And the Nine of Wands is like this heavy burden of feeling like, oh God, I have to make a choice. Like, I can't keep putting this off. Whatever current thing I'm doing is draining me. Like, whatever is currently going on, I know I need to make a decision, or I know I need to shift something, but I just like, I don't want to, or this is so heavy. It's like, But you do end up making that decision. You have the Three of Wands. This is you looking into the future. This is you planning. This is you envisioning what's next. And on top of that, getting ready to go on a new journey. So you know how you want to expand. You know you want to take a little bit more risk. You know you want to make a decision that allows you to have a little bit of freedom to take that risk. Whatever that means for your relationships, I don't know. But that decision here is with that Judgment card, it really affects your life a lot. Anytime I see the Judgment, is like you've decided something that is a turning point in your life where you will look back and be like, that's when this started to shift for me. And so I feel like you guys know with the Three of Wands what you want that shift to be, and then you go ahead and do it. And then after you do that, you make that decision about which direction you want to go in this relationship. Then you feel like you start to heal. So I don't know what that means for this. I don't know if this is a romantic relationship. I don't know if this is a friendship, but it's like you guys are thinking a lot about this dynamic, and you're just not sure at the beginning, but you know it just can't be like it is now. And then you're like, well, what do I want? And you're like, this is what I want. And then from that place, it feels like you start rejuvenating yourself. You come home to yourself. You have so much more energy because you're not expending it in this thought process of where should I go? What should I do? What's the next step? You've already done that. And now you're at this point where you're like, well, now I can just enjoy what is coming up for me. And now I can heal from the difficulty of the past. I can also heal from this tower moment. So that's where I'm reading it, from the right to the left. Normally I would do it the other way. So maybe for some of you it is the other way. So you can write in the comments down below if that makes more sense for you. But it just seems like this journey of coming from lack of understanding, lack of knowledge of what to do, and then totally transforming that into this more healing experience for yourself, where you're like, this is what I want, this is where I'm going, and now I feel so much lighter, I feel so much better. I just needed to rip that band-aid off, I just needed to decide, and now it's done. So it seems like a lot of things in your life are changing at one time with this Tower card and the Judgment card and your relationships. It's like these are two core areas that are undergoing significant change. So it's important for you to have a lot of time to rest and to heal. The Four of Swords, the Star card, both of these cards that I ended the readings on are about resting, are about healing, about taking time out, not having to do stuff, worry about stuff. Like really putting yourself first in every way. And I think that's why you got the Otter, because the Otter wants you to rejuvenate yourself. The Otter wants you to feel playful and happy and light. And a lot of what you're going through might not always feel like that. And so the Otter is coming in here as a suggestion for you to pursue anything in your life that does bring that lightness and that brevity to it. Again, hobbies, painting, creativity, friendships, movies, anything that feels like it's actually filling you up and not just avoiding like the Four of Cups and the Seven of Swords or even the Seven of Cups. I feel like there's this, I'm sensing a little bit of an avoidant kind of personality from you. Maybe that's like one of your first type of reactions is like, I don't know what to do, so I'm going to like pull back. And then it gets to a point where you're like, all right, fine. Now I have to like re-engage with my life. Now I have to decide. Now I have to build this again. And that's totally fine. I'm also like that. So that's why I think it's fine. But sometimes you just need to check out, in my opinion. So now we're going to talk about your spiritual and personal development over this next month. So you have the Devil, the Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, which is underneath the Nine of Wands, weird, and the Queen of Swords, so underneath the Seven of Cups. You know what, you guys? You know what's so funny? The Seven of Cups is about like lying to yourself, not having clarity, not like speaking truth, you know what I mean? Like not facing things fully, not wanting to decide things. And the Queen of Swords is like, this is exactly what I want. I'm being totally honest right now. This is what I need. This is what I want. This is what I think. Cutting the bullshit, going straight to the core, communicating clear boundaries, being a little bit cold, you know? Like the Queen of Swords is cold. It's like, I don't really care. Like, I'm just doing me. And it's not that I don't care about hurting you. It's just that I feel like I need to put my needs first. I need to express those. If it has a negative consequence on you emotionally, I can't help that. But otherwise, the negative consequence is on myself emotionally. So I have to say something. You know, it's like, I have to be honest. And in the long run, it's better to be honest, even if the initial reaction is difficult for that person or for you to like receive. So I feel like you guys are gaining this ability to hold clear boundaries and speak with clarity about your relationship. Make really wise decisions and do what's best for you. And the Nine of Wands to me is you guys really growing through challenging circumstances. This person, the Nine of Wands, is a really difficult card. It's one where we feel burdened by our current situation and it requires an immense amount of resilience. So I feel like you guys, you see all these sunflowers growing around her. You guys are growing a lot from that resilience. You're so strong. And I feel like you're going to start giving yourself credit for how much you can withstand or how much you can go through because of this card. The Six of Pentacles, I feel like, is you finally giving back to yourself. You finally choosing yourself. I feel like it's you guys finally doing things that are really healing and uplifting for you as a soul. And next to the Devil card, it's like, I'm not going to avoid this situation anymore. I'm not just going to use drugs. I'm not just going to use TV. I'm going to maybe do that for a second, but then by the end of the month, you're like, okay, I'm not actually feeling good by doing those things. Like that was fun for a day or two and now I feel worse from unplugging. So like let me just fill up my cup. Let me receive from other people as well. Like let me call my friend and receive the support that I need. Let me be held by someone for a change. So I feel like you guys are not only doing that for yourself, but you're also allowing others to do that for you. Instead of trying to fall into these bad habits or these temptations, you guys are transcending that and doing the things that are really actually going to fill you up your cup and heal you. Now let's look at your advice. So you guys got the She Who Resists, Fearless, Justified, and Resistant. And you also got Saturn return, age, and Mercury retrograde, reinvention. I definitely feel like that's fitting for you guys. Jeez. So the fact that you got 2 9 of Wands here, which you can't see, it's under there, really feels like it goes with this card, fearless, justified, and resistant. I feel like you guys are not becoming hard, because I don't think that's what's happening, but just really strong. Like you're becoming fearless. Like, geez, if I can do this, I can do anything. And also, I feel like you are justified and resistant in this relationship decision. Like I'm justified in making this decision for this change in my relationship. And I'm resisting the temptation to fall into these old habits that can be avoidant. And I'm also resisting the temptation to be swayed by other people. I'm holding my ground. I'm expressing my boundaries very clearly. So it's this really strong person who's like holding her own. And I think you guys are being advised to do that this month. Saturn return, age, the advice here is really just that you guys are going through it right now. You're going through a process of karma. And not in terms of like, oh, you did something bad, so this is like bad, something bad's happening to you now. No, it's like karma in the sense that you guys kind of signed up for this as a soul to evolve and to challenge yourself and to grow and to mature and to take on certain difficulties and responsibilities in life that help shape you to become a really wise person. And so I think the advice here is really to just, I guess, kind of like accept the challenge, and with the perspective that it's really helping you mature in a lot of ways in your life. And this maturation is going to help you reinvent yourself in a way that feels much better. That's what happens after Saturn return. Sometimes shit gets taken away. Like it hits at around age 30, and some people lose their jobs. Some people lose their relationships. Some people move countries. Like they have certain things fall through or change in their life that are really substantial. And it's that process of letting go and of endings that allows the person to find that wonderful partner or that perfect place to live or that perfect job, the thing that feels much more in alignment with them as a soul. So this difficulty that comes in at the Saturn return or right now in December is here to challenge you to become more aligned with actually who you want to be, where you want to go, because I feel like your career was a little off, your relationship was a little off, and now you have to reinvent yourself. Mercury retrograde, specifically reinventing your mind, your decisions, your communication, internally, like rewiring some things so that you start to attract different kinds of experiences. And I really feel like you're doing that with this Queen of Swords. Like you are coming at this with much more boundaries, much stronger, like standing up for yourself, asking for what you want, being very honest, being very decisive. And that's part of this reinvention, is like owning your power and speaking your truth very clearly. And I think it's going to maybe rub people the wrong way, but that's okay, because this is what's in your best interest. It's not about other people. It's about doing what's best for you, and that person's going to do what's best for them. And that's important to realize. Like my friend almost didn't take this other job opportunity that she got because she wanted to be loyal to her company. And I was like, they wouldn't do the same for you. If they had shit go down, they would fire you in a second. So why are you trying to like hold on and be there for these people when you have a much better opportunity coming in for you. This is better for your growth as a person. You're meant to take this. And just to not hurt someone else, you don't take it? No, of course not. You're the Queen of Swords. You do this thing, you go after what you want, you say your needs. And just because it might spark discord or push buttons in the moment, or it might not be what's best for that person at the time, the other person at the time, it's best for both of you in the long run because you're being honest about what you need. You're not going to become resentful by not getting your needs met long term. And, you know, if shit went down, the other person would say exactly what they wanted and what they needed. It's not like they're going to sit here and like tiptoe around you like you would around them. And I feel like that's how you're reinventing yourself, is like, you're like, I'm going to take and ask for what I want and what I need, and I'm going to be honest with people. And if it affects people negatively, like, so be it. But I'm not trying to do it from a mean place. I'm doing it from a place of honesty and authenticity and trying to just feel better, honestly, like take care of myself. A lot of this month is about taking care of yourself. And that's why the otter is so important. It's going to rejuvenate you through this creativity or through this playfulness, things that you like to do as a kid, whatever that was. You're being asked to step into that because you need to take care of yourself a lot this month. You're going through a lot. And so you need that lightness coming back into your life through some of the activities and through some of the receiving, through your connections, through your friends, support. Rely on other people. The Queen of Swords asks for what she wants, but she doesn't harden her heart to receiving what she wants. She allows that in. She allows in what she needs. So don't try to do it on your own. I think that's the biggest thing that I'm seeing here. So that's what I see for you guys. I hope that you did enjoy this. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and a comment down below. And if you want a 2022 astrology reading or even tarot reading, you can check it out on my website, willisboom.com, or in the description box below. And I hope you have a beautiful December. Bye.